Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. If you're new here, we are full-time online resellers and YouTubers. We like to hunt for cool and unique things that we can flip online for a profit. So if you're into videos like that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. So this past week, we were in Las Vegas speaking at a reseller conference, and we met a very cool person with a very unique story. So we decided just to sit down for half an hour and talk about her journey. So this is more of like a podcast style episode, and I really hope you enjoy it because we would love to continue to do more videos like this and just have more conversations with cool people. So please make sure to hit the thumbs up button on this video, and let's get into today's episode all about traveling, van life, reselling, and working in the film and TV industry. So we're at a reseller event in Las Vegas called Boss Reseller Remix, and we've just been like talking to a bunch of different resellers, and Tatiana is probably one of the most interesting resellers that we've met. So we wanted to just like, so far. We
I was gonna say, I feel, my goodness.
She has a really interesting story, no pressure.
No pressure. Well, no, pressure's on. Pressure's on for about like 2 days now. So.
But we kind of just wanted to sit down and hear her story. So that's what today's video is going to be about, more of like a podcast style.
And I will say, spoiler alert, it was actually pretty interesting because we were chatting last night and I was intrigued. So I think maybe you guys will be too.
Why don't we start with your name and what do you do?
Well, okay, yeah. I'm Tatiana Ragsdale, and I formerly worked in film and TV, and obviously I resell on the side, and that's what I do.
So how long did you work in film and TV for before you started reselling?
It was about, this is also a little quick. I was about 5-ish years in. And I was starting to get a little bit tired, starting to get a little bit weared out because that's what the film industry does to you. And
It's exhausting.
It is exhausting because you're pulling 80-hour work weeks, 15-hour days, and so it gets really exhausting. And I needed time off, but I also needed to make money. I needed to pay insurance and rent and all that stuff. And I had an affinity since I was a child with like selling stuff at garage sales and going to thrift stores and going to garage sales, right? So I sort of always kind of liked that thing. And so once I started taking a little bit more time off, I had more time to go thrifting, and I really liked thrifting. And then all of a sudden, I think it was.
You're in Canada, right?
I'm in Canada. Okay, so
yes. That's probably totally different too. We went to Niagara Falls, and we crossed over the border, and we went to like a couple of thrift stores.
In a touristy area, right? Yeah. So already it's going to be different than a regular thrift store in the suburbs.
Like, I don't know how Canadians do this, because the prices were ridiculous.
They are ridiculous. Yeah. They are insane.
And the stuff wasn't great. I mean, it was not in good condition. I don't understand those prices.
Yeah.
I don't understand them either, and I'm like, that's why I was like, so I can't wait for the border to open up because I'm gonna come across, baby, and I'm going to Goodwill.
But do you still work in film?
I last show that I finished up was it's gonna be an HBO show called Peacemaker. It's gonna come out. Peacemaker.
Isn't that the?
I don't know.
It's a comic book base, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what's the movie called that. I want to say Squid Game. I don't know what's in that. Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah, Peacemaker.
Yeah, Peacemaker from Suicide Squad. They did a rip-off of his character. Made a TV show ripped off.
That's awesome.
And so
okay, cool.
Based off of.
Thank you.
I mean, you can say ripped off of. That's cool. What's the difference?
It's not
based off of, ripped off of.
Ripped off of. So so we finished filming that in July, and I had been working for a year straight at that point. So I was exhausted again. So
were you working on that particular show for a year straight, doing like 80-hour weeks?
7 months. It was 7 It was months. January to July, and then I had been working 4 months prior to that on a different show.
And your title was?
I'm a third assistant director.
Third assistant director.
Yeah.
Because people might be wondering.
So interesting.
Because I would wonder, and I did, and so I asked. And I figured you guys would ask also.
Should I move it to the middle more? I'm going to.
Are you good?
Already forgot.
We're still filming.
This is terrible.
This is blooper stuff.
Everything's wrong with me.
So I can't wait to watch this.
Everything's wrong with me.
That's how the video will start.
Nothing happened.
Cut.
Okay, there we go. So you went from film and TV into resell? How did you start in reselling then? You liked garage selling and you went.
I like garage selling, and like I said, I started taking a little bit more time off because I was getting tired, but I needed to make money, and so with my time off, I needed something to do, and I really liked thrifting, and I went to the thrift store, and I found, I think it was I can't remember, I think it was an outdoor backpack, like, I think it was either like our equivalent to REI is MEC, and I think it was like an MEC backpack, and it was like $5, and I was like, this is like $70.
Nice.
You know, and so I bought it, and that's when I flipped it for the first time using only Craigslist because Facebook Marketplace didn't exist at the time. Yeah. And I also didn't know anything about eBay. Sure. And Poshmark also, none of that existed.
So you did like an in-person sale?
Yeah,
on Craigslist?
in-person sale. I'm like, man, I just
we know a lot of people who resell only locally on Facebook Marketplace, and then it's OfferUp,
Letgo, Craigslist.
They merged.
Yeah.
And then we have also
OfferUp
Sale now. I don't know if you guys have Garage Sale.
No.
Maybe it's a Canadian thing.
Yeah.
I don't sell on that. But it was only on Craigslist, and I was like, I could work a couple days a week and then just find stuff at the thrift shop and excuse to like go thrifting. Nice. And that's how it kind of started. And then I decided to move to New Zealand. So I sold all my stuff. And I sold everything, and I moved to New Zealand because
When was that?
I moved to New Zealand in 2016.
2016?
2016,
okay.
yeah.
And you were how old?
I would have been 24.
24, wow.
Yeah.
That's young to move to another country.
Yeah,
just brave and kind of courageous.
By yourself?
Well, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, by myself.
I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you.
Most people would never do that.
No, I mean, you guys.
Well, we
went together.
We were together, yeah.
We went together.
And we had
have
family
the support
too
system
over there.
That's fair, but I worked on a Steven Spielberg movie called The BFG, and Weta Digital, the New Zealand company that does all the Lord of the Rings stuff, was on that movie. So I made a bunch of Kiwi friends. So I had a bunch of Kiwi friends. So when I
went over there, you kind of had a job already. You didn't just like.
I had a place to live.
You're smart.
So in New Zealand, before I even met these Kiwi people, New Zealand was on my radar. Like every time I went to Pinterest, it was on like New Zealand. Was like the only thing that was like on any of my boards.
To New Zealand.
It did. I was like, I guess I like New Zealand this much. New Zealand's the place I need to go. Yeah. And that's why
Pinterest made you do it.
So, and of course, because I'm Canadian and I was under 30, I got the working holiday visa, probably like what you guys did. And so it made it really easy. And I'm
a New Zealand citizen.
I know, and I'm so jealous.
I got a spousal visa.
Yeah.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah,
there's
the reciprocity between Australia and New Zealand.
Right, so you have.
So I could just start work right away.
That's a nice big word. Reciprocity.
So how long were you in New Zealand for?
I was in New Zealand for about 10 months. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do any reselling over there at all?
That's the funny thing, is like I moved to New Zealand to get away from film because I knew that, I'm going to preface, the life expectancy of a film worker is 54 years old. And in the past 3 years,
not the career expectancy. The life expectancy. So you die at 54 on average.
54 or younger.
Wow.
And I know people. Like
Weird.
This past summer during that heat wave, I know 3 people that died under 50. Heart attacks. Like that.
What?
Yeah.
Just the stress.
Just the stress and that
your body's goosebumps all over. That's awful. That's
the stress that your body is
sad.
being put through this. It's like it's horrendous. And so
stress kills. People don't understand that.
It does. And
silent killer.
Even though I love the job and I'm really good at the job and it does bring me a lot of value, that other side of it that I do see that it just completely drains you. I also knew that I can't be doing.
So you want to live past 54 is what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't want to be up at like 3 a.m. in the middle of the night with mud up to my hips at 45. Like I don't want to do that. And so I was like, I gotta try and get out of film. So I'm gonna like leave the country to be able to get.
It's hard when you have a career and you've built yourself a career path through that career and you're working your way up, and then you realize you've put in all this time and energy and hours, and then boom, all of a sudden you could just die at 54 and it's probably not right for you and you need to switch to something else. And that's hard.
It is. And I wanted to before I got to that point, like this is why, and we'll probably get to that. This is why I haven't moved up as a, like, because I'm a third assistant director, there's a second assistant director, and there's a first assistant director, and then generally you go into either producing or production managing or directing, essentially. But I haven't made the jump into second ADing, because the moment you make the jump into second ADing, you're in.
Right.
That's it. This is your job, this is your life, there is no going back type thing. So this is why I was like, I gotta go do the things that I need to do, and I need to move to New Zealand. So when I got to New Zealand, obviously I didn't have any. I was being careful with my money, and I got a job at. I didn't want to do anything, even though I was living with a stuntman, and I knew a lot of filmy people there, and I could have opportunities to get into a film there if I wanted to. I wanted to stay away, so I was able to get a job at a military base in Wellington. And I did that for...
What were you doing at the military base?
I was a server.
Server at the military base?
Yeah,
wow.
So we just put the food out and like took the orders at lunchtime when they came in.
Way less stressful.
Way less stressful.
And it paid you money.
It paid me money, but not enough.
Sure.
And so then I was like, it's not quite enough money. After my weekly fees, I had maybe, if that, $50 in the bank, not even type thing. And I was like,
New Zealand's expensive.
It's very expensive.
Very expensive.
How do you buy food
with
that kind of
you go to the
little amount of
markets.
money?
You go to the market. That's where you get your food.
Or you lose weight.
Yeah,
'Cause
that too.
Were you in Auckland?
I was in Wellington.
In Wellington?
Yeah, yeah. No, I liked Auckland, but all the friends were in Wellington because they're Weta, and Weta's in Wellington, so
Right.
I decided to go there. And so it wasn't enough money though, right? And then there's this really big show, a Peter Jackson movie that was coming to town. I'm like, well, I could do a couple days a week, and that'll be enough money to supplement. To make me feel comfortable in terms of like the amount of money I'm making.
Financial stability is a real a game changer.
Sure.
The thing is, it's so funny because like I've worked from ground zero. This would have been the second time that I've worked from zero up, right? And I forgot what it was like to have like no money, and I forgot how much it scares you. You're like, oh my god, how am I gonna pay my bills next week? I don't know.
It's a good motivator, though.
It was a good motivator. So I'm like, okay, well maybe I'll take a job interview because I knew some people, and they're looking for people that were doing my position or ADs in the general. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just do some days here and there.
You.
I got the job.
Nice.
I got the job. I got
Had the
it.
Sucked you back in.
Yeah, it sucked me back. It happened to be the best experience of my life because it was nothing like the working conditions of like Vancouver or even the U.S. So it was the best thing ever.
You have way better working conditions in Australia and New Zealand than America.
Because people
Does
are
not
like,
compare.
sorry, at 11.5 hours, I'm putting my tools down and I'm actually leaving.
Right.
You know?
Oh, they don't care. They are done.
Done. Exactly.
You
done.
pay me for this.
These
are my expectations. I'm out.
Exactly. You want meal penalty? You have to ask me. You can't just be like, okay, we're doing meal penalty now, and you'd be like, no, you got to go to each channel and ask each person, is it okay if we take 30 minutes meal penalty? You have to actually ask the question, or people will put their tools down and walk out. It's it's so unified over there, but it's also much smaller.
Yes.
Right. So the crew are in control because it's like there's nobody else after that. I mean, they were looking for me, for someone to do my job because there wasn't any. Anyway, because I started making money then again, I found myself going back to the thrift shops and started doing that habit in New Zealand.
So in New Zealand, there are what, Savers and Salvation Armies?
They're called op shops, and there's I think they have like an equivalent to Savers, but it's clothes only, and then everything else is all like mom and pop independent.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because Australia had Salvation Army. They called them Salvos.
Salvos.
Yeah.
Salvos.
And,
you can drink water. Go ahead. Thank you. You have my permission to drink some water.
Thank you, Ellie.
But yeah, when we lived in Australia, I had a website design and marketing company. We weren't reselling at all, but we were still going to thrift stores and garage sales over there too.
And everything was so expensive, and we were like, what can we find cool in a thrift store?
Exactly.
We
So
brought
we weren't reselling stuff over there, but we were thrifting and going to garage sales for ourselves because stuff was so expensive.
Yeah, and so this is the thing to do. And say I did that with clothes because I didn't have clothes, and I had to
Sold it all.
to a suitcase. You're like,
yeah,
exactly. So
what made you come back to Canada?
Canada. Essentially, when I finished that movie in New Zealand, it was like the middle of winter, and I don't know if you guys experienced a winter in these places. They have no heat. They have no insulation.
Right.
It's miserable. Like I literally would
we were told about it.
Yeah.
I would go into my car and turn the heat on to dry my clothes because there's also no dryers, right? It's all hang dry stuff like that.
Gosh.
So in the morning you're putting on like wet pants. You're like, oh my god,
no. With no heat.
With no heat, and so like I was done.
Okay.
I wanted because back in Canada and the U.S. it's summertime, so I was like, well, I'll go home and I'll visit the Fam Jam, and then there was a couple of movies that were going to be coming, like Mulan was about to shoot in New Zealand, so I'm like, oh, this could work out in terms of like.
But you weren't expecting when you moved to New Zealand to put on wet pants in the middle of winter.
No, I didn't. I wasn't not
game changer. I'd be out.
But I ended up started dating a Kiwi, and we got together and it was nice. So I went back to Canada and I ended up staying actually longer than I intended. I then again got on another movie in Vancouver. It was The Rock Skyscraper, that one. I don't know if you ever saw it. It's really cheesy.
Oh wait,
Yeah, of course we saw
yeah.
that.
Sorry, the skyscraper movie.
The skyscraper movie.
So did that movie, and then the Kiwi I was seeing at the time actually got a job on Avatar in Los Angeles, and so since he was so close, we decided to do like this winter road trip thing, and then we were both going to move back to New Zealand, and he was going to work on Avatar just from New Zealand type thing.
Okay.
And so we did that, and we moved back the beginning of like 2018, and then he ended up becoming extremely unhappy, and there also just was no film work for me to do, and this is the time where I also just wanted to be like a travel blogger. Reselling at this point was sort of like, I wasn't really even thinking about that. I was thinking about like, I'm going to do the work and film thing with my boyfriend here in New Zealand, and then maybe I can be a travel blogger type thing, and then
blogging, not vlogging.
Not blogging with the B. Yeah.
Was that kind of the transition to the van life? When did that happen? That
happened. The van life happened actually August 2020.
Oh, okay.
New Zealand does have a part to play in this, though. When I was in New Zealand, there's a portion.
Because your van has heat.
My van has heat, baby. Actually, I'm just we're gonna put a tab in that because it didn't have heat at one point actually all of the Canadian winter, and it was terrible. No. But I did it before, so I did it again.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Because I can't imagine living without AC. So the idea of living without heat, I'm just like, we don't need heat in Florida. We can be fine without it. But
having that, like I said, I do not want to do another Canadian winter in the van, or at least without the heat, because I was lucky again that I worked through the winter. So my van was parked next to my trailer. And so when I woke up in the morning at 5 a.m., all I had to do was put on the cold pants. And then my trailer was like right there. That was already heated because transport had already turned it on and everything. And then I was in there for 17 hours in a nice heated trailer. And then I just had to go back to my cold van, put on the cold pajamas, and then get in bed.
So why didn't you take your pajamas in the heated van with you?
Because I forgot my pajamas too many times in my. That's
what I would have done.
In my trailer. So I stopped doing that because I just kept forgetting them.
So now you travel out of the van full time, right?
Yeah.
And you vlog it.
I do.
Yeah. I saw a couple of your videos. I watched them. They're pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So is that your passion now? Are you trying to travel more in the van?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the idea. When I bought it, I thought I was going to do the van life thing like later in life, like 40s, 50s, because I wanted to fly places, and I had other places I wanted to go and do the working holiday visa thing, but we all know what happened in 2020. Yeah. So I'm like, I might as well just expedite that.
Can you remind me about 2020? What happened?
Nothing happened.
You weren't there? Okay, well, let me tell you.
We don't talk about that year.
It was a write-off. You know what? That was a complete write-off for everybody.
That's the
doesn't
lost
exist.
Year. I keep calling it the lost year, and people are like, you're not wrong about that.
Because it really was
the lost
year. I mean, from now we're just gonna be like, it was a 2020, and people want to know exactly.
So tell us about the van.
The van.
Yeah. How is it?
Van.
How is it built?
The van, I bought it pre-built, already built.
Built out already, done.
Yeah, completely done. I was at the point crossroads. So I'm like, I'm gonna expedite the 40-year-old plan to like now because it can't travel. I was either gonna have to sign a lease for a place to live, or I was like, oh my goodness, my van. And so I decided to like take all the money I was going to put on the lease and put it into the van.
Cool.
So what are your amenities in the van? Bed?
Okay, I got bed, table, storage, stove, sink, heater.
Nice.
Fan.
Heater's a big one. AC?
No AC.
Oh.
No AC.
Oh, after the summer, I'm really considering it though, because my goodness, it gets hot in the back there.
I'm sure.
Holy damn, does it get hot in the back there.
So lacking one amenity of the AC, but it has heat.
No, it doesn't. It does not have a bathroom or a shower.
Okay. So you drive in like 2 campsites?
Yeah, campsites.
Campsites are great.
Campsites are great, and
Walmarts are really good.
Walmarts are my best friend.
Yes, Walmart's all about that. Because they know you're going to come in and buy
I
their
see the
stuff.
vans parked in Walmarts all the time.
All the time, and I mean, like it's convenient to have the Walmart so close. I'm not going to lie.
There's certain gas stations that truckers go to, and then they shower in those gas stations. Love's is one of them.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, Love's is one of those gas stations, and then there are other ones. I don't know which ones they are because that's never been like on my
Same.
radar, but I know they exist for truckers.
So yeah.
So when you're traveling in your van, are you still reselling?
I've been experimenting.
Okay.
I've been, because I would like to. That would be
Yeah.
the idea, is to, yes, be able to resell out of my van, also make YouTube videos and travel
Right.
and the hiking stuff.
Because you do a lot of thrifting on your channel too.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because because they're encompassed, right?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm going to be
They are.
traveling and thrifting, but I'm also going to be hiking and
Right.
doing all that other stuff. And because
But you're finding cool stuff while you're
You
out
travel
there.
to a place
well.
and hike in your thrifted items. Boom. Done. Full circle.
Yeah. I think the hardest part would be storage, though, right?
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's the aspect I'm trying to overcome. I haven't exactly figured out yet. I predominantly sell mugs. So
Mugs?
It's a small item. It's a small
That's
item that
so
that can
funny.
store,
Not clothing.
not clothing.
I didn't think you were going to
Mugs.
say mugs. I didn't.
I'm so sorry, you
literally,
guys. I know you guys are all about the clothes.
No,
I can't
no.
do it. I
Mugs are
cannot do it.
The photos of clothes are annoying.
So like
to do
Starbucks
pictures.
mugs.
Starbucks mugs. There's like really particular mugs. I can't remember.
And you know.
I know.
mugs.
And there's also like trial and error.
Yeah.
In terms
What's
of like
your best mug
Trial
flip?
by
my
fire.
best mug
What's
flip.
your best mug flip?
Oh, I sold. I think I sold like, it was like 9 mugs together, and
Okay.
I made like $80 or something like
Nice.
that on like 9 mugs.
And what was the
Sweet.
shipping for that? Do you remember?
It was Poshmark, baby.
Oh.
Yes.
I forgot you can sell other stuff on Poshmark now.
Tricky.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Not just
And what
clothes.
were the mugs? What were they? Themed?
They were like unicorn mugs and some Starbucks mugs. And
yeah.
Oh, actually, no, I lied. I did better. There was a friend who knows that I resell gave me all her entire Starbucks mug collection,
Whoa.
and some lady bought
For free?
For free.
Nice.
For free. And so they're all still in the green boxes and everything.
Oh,
And
wow.
I sold all of them for $125,
Sweet.
which was like 5 or 6 of them. So
Nice.
So that was actually my best one. I
So
forgot
mugs.
about that.
I mean, that does kind of make sense though, because every thrift store has a mug section,
Mm-hmm.
and it's easy to just go in there and look at the mug section
Yeah.
if you're not
Most
into
people-
clothing or.
Need another mug in their life like they need another hole in their head, right? They don't.
Yeah.
So a lot of people skip the mug section
Yeah.
because they don't need a
They
mug.
don't need a mug.
Yeah.
I just find that, like, I don't know why I always gravitated towards the mugs. And like
I love mugs.
Thank you, Ralli Roots, for the video of like what to buy and type thing. So those are the items that I was looking for at first, but
Sweet.
then I'd always sort of like find myself in the
Yeah.
mug
Do
aisle.
Do you like the what sold videos? Is that
Yes.
what you,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
But
Whistle low.
that's the way that it works though, is that
Yeah.
you start with what you see and then you gravitate to what you like.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then that's how it sort of like shifted. And because I should preface, like, I bought the van, but then I needed to pay for the van.
Yeah.
I'm not rich, okay? I had a little bit of a down payment, but I had to then pay for the
Yeah.
van. And
Yeah. And that interest.
So I went straight back to work, and
Right.
of course, like I said, 15-hour days. I didn't have much time to put into my reselling business, but I also didn't want it to come to a complete stop.
Right.
And so I had to cut out all the stuff I didn't like selling. Even though shoes sell well, I had to cut them out because the stress of finding and cleaning them, and it didn't bring me
It's
too
joy.
much.
Yeah.
Mugs
Didn't bring you joy.
brought me joy.
Yeah.
Right.
So
it didn't
and-
feel like work.
No, it didn't feel like work. I like
You
going
didn't
to
push
the,
yourself to do it when you're exhausted.
No, I wanted to go to the fish store. I wanted
Yeah.
to find the mugs. I wanted to put them in the sink and let the stickies come off. Like, I don't know why. Like, they bring me joy.
Get it. You're preaching to the choir over here. I get that. That is
so
me
funny.
all the way.
So then, what's your plan now for the future? Because you want to start traveling again now
I
that the
do.
borders are back open or starting to get back open. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Come to Florida
are
in
you
summer
gonna
with no AC.
are you gonna
Die.
do a U.S. tour? You think?
I am going to.
Okay.
That is like, now that the border is going to be opening for
Yeah.
November 8th. My plans, I can like go ahead on my plans.
Yeah.
So the idea is, yes, I'm going to hop in my van and I'm going to do like the Southern Circuit, like during the winter, because
Nice.
again, I don't really want to drive in the snow. I don't want to live in the snow. Respect to all the people that do that.
It's
Can't
scary
do it.
and it's dangerous.
And that
Yeah.
and that's
in that
too.
van,
that makes
you gotta
me
be cautious.
People are like, it's fine, it'll be fine. I'm
it's
like,
not
"Mm, mm,
okay.
mm."
Yeah.
No, not in the
So
van.
I want to I want to travel and do the Southern Circuit of the U.S. because I haven't actually done.
You're gonna come to
really much.
Florida?
Oh yeah.
Nice, good,
Because
yeah.
hopefully by the time that I like do the South and then come back up, it'll be springtime, maybe almost summer. Cross the border. And then do what Eamon and Beck did, is put my van on a boat and send it over to Europe.
Oh, wow.
And then because I'm still under 30, I can get a working holiday visa in the UK.
Gotcha.
Make some money over in the UK. And then once I make some money, start touring Europe and start making my way to Mongolia. It is a
right.
3-year trip.
Jeez.
It's a 3-year plan. that I have.
It's a big trip.
It is going to be a big trip. It's a big trip.
You have to do it.
So, but like that's what I want to do. Cool. Whether or not it happens, we'll see. But I'm green light real soon. I'm very excited.
That's awesome.
So run us through your circuit again.
So I start in Vancouver Island on the West Coast, and then I'll drive down the West Coast, and I have lots of friends like California, Washington, Oregon.
Nice.
And then I will probably cut over into Utah because I have lots of friends in Utah.
Perfect.
And I'm going to visit some friends in Utah, and then I'll come down and do the South, and really see the South of the states and explore New Mexico.
And then where are you going to go
Texas.
to Europe through? Where?
That I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Because I really, really, really want to do the Scandinavias, and I think having the van is going to make it a little bit more affordable.
Yeah. It's expensive.
Yeah, and I think I haven't looked at their working holiday visas. They do have working holiday visas for Canadians, but I don't know, I don't know what the limitations are on that. So it'd be really cool if I could even work there. In the Scandinavias.
100%.
Yeah, and I gotta see these places. I mean, I love mountains and I like hiking, and that's like.
Yeah.
Are you gonna vlog it?
Oh yeah, all of it.
Sweet.
Yeah,
we'll
as
be
much as I
watching.
can.
I feel like
maybe we'll come visit you when.
That's
you
absolutely should.
Yeah.
That'd be so sweet. I'll come visit you guys in Florida. I mean,
you
like,
have to come stay at our house. This is an open invitation. Everyone heard it. You get to sleep with the bulldog though.
I will take Mochi anytime. I don't care that she snores, man.
Zero does not snore though. She's the best to sleep with because she'll just like lay next to you, and she doesn't get on top of your body and make it so you can't move. She'll just lay next to you. Mochi, opposite, on top of you, 4 a.m, spinning around, readjusting herself. You'll kick her out. You'll kick Zero, you'll kick Mochi out.
Yeah, Mochi, you're on the floor now.
Yeah, Mochi, you're down. This
Zero,
is it.
we're gonna spoon.
She's a spooner.
So one thing that you might want to look at when you're doing America, if you are going to continue to resell it, is Amazon FBA. Have you looked into that at all?
I have not looked into it.
You haven't?
I have not looked into it.
Okay.
Again, because like I'm Canadian, I haven't really dove into those aspects. I'm like, why am I going to do that?
But it's a really good way to not have to carry the inventory. That's the biggest thing. Yeah.
Yep.
So, and you can still, if you're going to thrift stores, it doesn't have to be, a lot of people think you can only sell new stuff on Amazon, but like vintage electronics sell great. Camera equipment,
VHS tapes,
like old lenses and stuff sell immediately on Amazon FBA. So, and then with that, you can just go to all the thrift stores, collect 50, 60 items, box it up and ship it to their warehouse. And
so there you go.
You don't have to carry it, you know?
And that's what I was thinking. And here at the Boss Reseller Remix, there's a new service called Bliss. I don't know if you guys saw that. Yeah, Bliss.
We gotta go talk to them.
What's Bliss? What is
they do the same thing but for resellers. So they will take your items. Same thing as FBA but for resellers. So you can take your thrifted items and send them to them.
It's probably something you're gonna want to do.
And that's what when they said that I was like, tell me more.
It's like eBay FBA.
Yeah, I don't know what their storage fees are.
Yeah.
But
that's what it'll come
you just have to roll that into the cost, right? If something's gonna sell for $50 and you only paid $3 for it, storage fees most likely are great.
I mean, it's probably a lot better than getting a 2,000 square foot warehouse and paying, a whole bunch of money for rent.
For rent, unless it's an asset and you own it.
Yeah. I think one thing we might be able to help you with is your YouTube journey.
I feel yes, because like I'm more right now. I am more Poshmark than I am eBay.
Yeah.
And as well, like I sell mugs. I don't sell vintage T-shirts or clothing. So
I feel like Etsy for selling mugs is a smart play.
I've wanted to get on Etsy, but then when I got to the listing part, and then like has to be vintage or made by somebody, and then like you could fib it or lie, but then Etsy has like really nasty repercussions.
Yes.
Oh, if it's not vintage.
Yeah, they got nasty repercussions. Right. So I've talked to who's a Texas Instrument. No, I can't remember. Instruments Tech. She sells jewelry mostly, but she also sort of specializes in mugs. If I think of her name, and I asked her, I'm like, so like when you get to this part in your listing on Etsy, like what do you put? She's like, I've never run into that before, so like I don't know if it's a Canadian thing, like on the Canadian Etsy that it only does that. Loretta from the Thrift Love Sells.
Love Loretta.
I wish she was here. She was like, oh,
she's great. We met her in 2018 here in Vegas.
eBay open.
Very sweet lady. She kills it with hard goods. She's so good.
She's got the eye. She's an interior designer.
It's
it's incredible what she sees.
It is what it is. It is. So I follow her religiously. We have a pretty good Instagram relationship. And the moment that COVID becomes, a little bit more lax, I will probably go. I want to go visit.
Oh,
That'd
what
be nice.
is your Instagram and what's the name of your YouTube channel? So,
Okay.
because I'll link them in the video description as well, so people can go follow
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right now, my Instagram is Travel with Tats, and then my YouTube is my name. It's just Tatiana Ragsdale.
So how many tattoos do you have? Travel with tats.
I knew it was coming. None.
Where are your tats?
None.
Lame.
I've got none. Listen, Tats is just like a nickname that my boss gave me, and it stuck.
Good. Cool.
You don't have to get tats, no pressure. But also, it's in the name.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't get tats at all, so I can just say that I actually have no tats. And then, I don't know. If I would, I'd probably get my name or.
But definitely
but-
the YouTube channel. I think that because that's a really interesting journey. You know, there's a lot of van life type YouTube channels, but there's not a lot of people that take their van overseas and then do it again over there. So
That's
a
too
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
yeah.
I'm so
That'll be
excited for
interesting
you.
I
to
wanted
watch.
to make it really niche, and then after seeing Emmy and Beck do it, and then after seeing people do the Mongol Derby every year, I'm like, this is totally doable.
Yeah, that's so
I'm gonna
cool.
do it.
It's so cool.
I mean, it's crazy, but yeah, it sounds like fun
Thank you. And yeah, we should totally like meet up in Europe.
for sure.
We will 100% do that.
Yeah.
Because things will be a lot more settled down too in
Yeah.
the future.
I feel
Because we'll have like our whole everything going on like a well-oiled machine. Right now, everything is a bit more random, but
It is.
it'll get better.
Just still figuring it. Everyone's figuring it out. Everyone's figuring it out.
Yeah, things are changing. Tides are shifting.
Do you have any advice for people who are maybe like in your type of situation where they're working 80 hours a week and they don't really like what they're doing and they want to maybe take a break and travel more, or they want to do something like van life but they're too scared to do it? Do you have any, like, how did you motivate yourself to get past your head and be able to do it?
I'm an all-in kind of person.
Yeah.
I just jump. I just jump
You
off.
flip a coin?
No, I just jump off the deep end. I'm like, I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah.
And fully commit. And like, there are some, downsides to fully committing to
Sure.
some things. But if you're in that sort of situation, what I say is, and especially if you're in that situation, but you can't leave it just yet, doing things for yourself. And setting strict boundaries with yourself, being like, I'm not going to say yes to the things that cause me more stress because I'm already so tied up here. I'm going to say yes just to the things that bring me happiness, because then you can do those 80 hours for longer, because it becomes a marathon instead of a sprint. And then also having, like, if van life is your end goal, and this is like a common thing, it's like you have to make that your focus. Like, okay, cool, you're doing the 80-hour work thing on the side, but the van thing is right
That's
over
the
there.
goal.
That is the goal.
Right.
That is what
Right.
you're working towards. That is what you're going to put your focus into. You're going to put your money aside for that. No, you're not going to get that second latte on the Thursday. You're going to take that $5 and you can put it tax-free, and you're going to work
People have
towards
such
that
a hard
van.
time with that. I don't. I am so frugal. I have no problem being as frugal as possible.
Yeah.
And I know it can be difficult, but like the moment you find that like it's in here, it's like, this is what I want. That's what you think about, and you think about that feeling, and then you put everything towards
And
it, and
is
you'd
it-
be surprised
is
what
it-
you can do.
Is it worth it?
The van life thing?
I'm saying for you,
Oh,
for
for
your
me.
journey.
For my journey. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
You're happier now than
Yeah.
you were before.
Yeah, there's actually a
Just myself.
Japanese word for that. It's a feeling or sensation, because in the English language, we use words that mean something, but in the Japanese language, there are far more words that mean something. And the word is ikigai.
Ikigai.
And it's the thing you wake up for in the morning and you live for. It's what gets you up and out of bed.
your
what you
purpose.
live your life for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like your van is your ikigai. And I
That's
love it.
So that's what you gotta do. Is you gotta find your ikigai.
Yeah, you gotta find your ikigai.
And focus on it.
That should be your first tat,
it.
Ikigai.
Oh no. It actually might. Because that's actually how I've lived my life and been
Nice.
able to have all these opportunities.
awesome.
Is like
Yeah.
that's where I'm going. I'm gonna do it.
Cool.
Same with the reselling thing. I'm doing it.
Continue with
Yeah.
that too. It's a good way to make some extra money and fund your adventures too.
Yeah, 100%. And like, because I also know YouTube, it takes time before
Yes.
you start making any money. And I'm
Yes.
like, I'm gonna have to make money somehow.
Yes.
So I knew it
Yes.
was like, if I continue the reselling thing, that's a nice way to make money and
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
a YouTube can
Yeah,
supplement. So.
absolutely. Cool.
If I get there.
Well, the journey sounds awesome, and
Thank you.
appreciate you sitting down with us and telling us
I
more about it.
mean, thank you for having me.
Of course.
I work with famous actors, people. I am more excited to meet these guys than
No,
I
you're
have
not.
anybody. I'm not kidding.
Stop
I'm not
it.
kidding. I have done
Oh,
a
that means a
shirtless
lot to
scene
us.
with Ryan
Sure.
Reynolds, and this is more exciting.
I would take that. That's so funny.
I'll tell you later. This
my
is more
gosh.
exciting for
Oh
me.
my
Seriously, I
gosh.
cannot.
That's a huge compliment.
I'm like, oh my god, I gotta share an Uber with Ellie.
Next time I'm scrubbing the toilet, I'm going to remember you said that and be like, this is fine.
That's awesome. Well, please go sub to Tatiana's channel. Show her some love, because it sounds like a really cool journey. So
Your journey is going to be super cool. We're going to follow it.
yeah.
Thank you.
And crash it.
Yeah. Straight up.
Yeah.
Featuring Ellie and Ryan this episode.
And we'll keep in touch for sure.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.